artificial intelligence, another pun. Nice. Let me introduce to you my dear friend, distinguished Toastmaster Mark Ahlers. The turning point of Mark Ahlers came when he received some advice from distinguished Toastmaster Jordan Conner. This morning, Mark shares how that advice has transformed his Toastmaster journey with a speech titled, Drop the Bomb. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Mark Ahlers.
Thank you. Just minutes earlier, I had finished my sixth speech, and now the evaluations were completed. The ballots were counted, and the results were confirmed. I finished third, and I'm pretty sure I would have finished fourth if speaker number 3 hadn't been disqualified. Fortunately, my evaluator that day was Jordan Kamaker. Jordan realized my speech was a real stinker and that any excessive criticism would be viewed as piling on. So his words were kind and encouraging. And to be honest, I didn't pay much attention to them. One thing I did pay attention to was Jordan's suggestion after the meeting. Mark, he said, you should consider adding some humor to your speeches. I remember thinking, wow, now that's great advice. The only problem was I wasn't particularly funny. Fortunately, I just signed up for a course which I thought would help. That was called Train the Trainer. Although the trainer was incredibly funny, he provided little guidance as to how I could be funny. So when I returned home here to Winter Park Toastmasters, I was definitely discouraged. It was then that I finally paid attention to the book that was prominently displayed at the back of the room. It was written by veteran club member Carl Ryder and entitled, How to Win Your Audience with Bomb-Proof Humor. I had seen it for the past couple months, but had resisted buying it because I was suspicious of Carl. Not because of his speaking skills or his ability to inject humor into a speech. No, I was suspicious of Carl because of his seemingly unending promotion of products. In the short time I had known him, Carl had approached me on numerous occasions, wanting me to purchase numerous products, including foreign exchange currency, a $1,200 water filtration system, and pills made from the stem cells of pigs that were supposed to improve your health. Well, in Carl's defense, those pig pills did actually seem to increase my sense of well-being. The only problem was they also seemed to increase my weight considerably. Not to mention providing me with a noticeable snort every time I laughed. But despite my suspicions, I shelled out $15 for Carl's book, and I couldn't have been happier. You see, in just 114 pages, Carl explains the fundamentals of humor. More importantly, he shows you how to launch your humor without having it explode in your face. Carl calls it bomb-proof humor. The concept is simple. You package your humor in such a way that it's virtually imperceptible to your audience. unless, of course, it's funny. Then you get laughter. If not, the audience just thinks it's part of your story. What's even better is that Carl includes dozens of examples of how he injected bomb-proof humor into his speeches. For example, you'll hear how Carl was born at the Breakers Hotel in Palm Beach while his parents were visiting from Dallas. Because of it, 2 cities now claim Carl. Palm Beach claims he's from Dallas. Dallas claims he's from Palm Beach. As many of you know, Carl won hundreds of trophies here at Winter Park Toastmasters. Notwithstanding all his hardware, one of Carl's most treasured Toastmaster possessions was a letter he received after publishing Bomb-Proof Humor. Carl gave me a copy a few days before he died and asked me to share it with the club if I ever thought the time was right. So if it's okay with you, I'll share it with you now. Dear Carl, all my life I've been the butt of everyone else's jokes, but I've never been funny myself. I think I inherited a deficient humor gene from my father. In fact, all my friends laughed when I told them I was going to buy your book, Bomb-Proof Humor. But I bought it anyway, and they're not laughing now. Signed, Carson Schaefer. Only kidding, it's actually signed by me. Darren LaCroix, the 2001 world champion of public speaking, calls Bomb-Proof Humor a book that every presenter should read twice. I call Bomb-Proof Humor the best humor book ever that should be required reading for every Toastmaster. Fortunately, Carl's sold his small inventory of Bomb-Proof Humor books to the club before he died. And we have a very limited supply available this morning for sale. They're $15 each, first come, first serve. Just make sure you pay Varkey on your way out. So, who wants a copy? Mr. Toastmaster. Keep your